Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to August 27th pre-market session. Good morning. Pre-market session. We have a lot of interesting setups for the day. We had earnings, and I will go over everything one by one. So the most important event that happened for the day is clearly the the earning, NVDA's earning, right? So good morning, everyone. NVDA had earning, and as a result, we are seeing a slight gap on NVDA and overall semiconductor names. So let's take a look at NVDA's earning first. Okay, so NVDA reported earning yesterday after market close, and shares are up around like 223 224-ish zone. It retested 226 area and pulled back, rejected this resistance zone. Okay, the revenue, earning, and data center revenue, all of them grew and beated expectations, right? And the total revenue is estimated to grow 70% year over year, which is insane, right? For a company at NVDA's scale. So as a result, overall, we're seeing a relatively strong push on NVDA's price action. The price moved from 210.12 to 226.7, retested 220, and then it is consolidating right below this 224 226.7 resistance. So that is the main rejection area, right where we are trading at, right? This is the same rejection we saw on 10, 11, 12th of August, and the price rejected, sold off, pushed all the way down to 210.11, and we're seeing the price pushing higher here and didn't break out of 226 227 resistance zone, right? So we already know that there is a positive catalyst for NVDA. The price reaction clearly shows the strength of the bid. However, we have a wall of supply, a resistance right above us. So the trade plan for NVDA's price action would be waiting for the price to either react to 221 220 zone and see how the price either hold or breaks this area. If it holds, then we'll be able to see a possible bounce here and a retest of this whole resistance area. If it does not hold, we have a gap clearly, right? We just gapped up, and we are rejecting 225 227 resistance. If we reject this zone and sell off, the price can push lower. Now, I'm not saying that is a possibility based on the current price action and based on the fact that the bid is clearly holding this 221. There is a high possibility of the price holding this zone. Now, what happens if it holds? We might go for a bounce and retest of this whole resistance area. Now, the best bet is to wait for the price control and the buyers control this whole zone, be able to break out, retest the zone, or hold above the zone. We want to see bid is holding this this price range, and as cannot push the price lower. If we see that, we could go for a continuation on NVDA's price action all the way up to 230, and then the all-time high is 236, 237. So that's about NVDA, which is a pretty important pretty important earning for the day. I'm checking out a couple of news here as well. There is an Apple event, which is on September 9th, Apple launch event, and there will be a new CEO announcement for Apple. So we'll see how that affects Apple's price action. And with NVIDIA's earning, we had we're gonna watch a range of stocks, a lot of semiconductor stocks, which we will go over them one by one. We had two other earnings as well. CRM, Salesforce, which beat earning and revenue and gapped up, and we are holding right below this resistance zone of 230 so far on CRM. A massive gap up, a pullback. So far it's holding 225, 226 zone, but we are below this clear resistance area. If you take a look at this whole zone that rejected previously here, like for 2024, the price held these areas, rejected this zone. Now we are we literally pushed all the way up till this the border of this resistance zone, and the price pulled back down. Now, similar to NVDA, the reaction of the price to this zone will be very important. If we keep rejecting and push back down to 222, 221, and the selling pressure continues, we could go for a gap fill setup. However, if we keep holding this zone, if the bid stay here and hold the level, or if we break out of this zone and the bid control above this zone, we could go for a continuation on CRM. Another name that had earning was CrowdStrike. Beat earning, revenue, and gapped up. Okay, so we were trading around 188.87 yesterday. We are at 206-ish zone. We had this gap up in the after hour when the earning announced, and now so far in the pre-market we're holding like around 205, 206. The bid is holding 204.5 area. We're clearly rejecting 213 zone. Again, if we keep holding 204, 205 demand area, we are gonna go for the possibility of pushing higher, and breakout will be higher, and the price could go for a retest of 217.18, and then all-time high of 226. However, if you break down below 203, 204, we could go for a gap fill setup down till first 197, 198, and then 100, around 189, 190, which was yesterday's close. All right, so with that being said, let's take a look at a couple of tickers worth watching. Okay, so first starting from SPY, we're seeing S&P 500 had a relatively strong move yesterday after the market close. Well, clearly because of the earnings, right? This is the effect of NVIDIA's earning pushing the price higher after the market close. We broke out of this whole 767, 768, 769 resistance, and now we are retesting so far in the pre-market. Let's see if this level can hold as a demand or not. Okay, that is the key zone we would like to focus on, right? If the price holds above 767, 768 and starts pushing higher, indicating that the level is under control of the bid of the buyers, we could go for a continuation and target 773 on SPY. Now for that, obviously we need to be able to, as I said, hold this whole zone. And on the daily chart, we are clearly breaking out of the 921 EMA cloud area, right? The area in between them that we have been trading for 5-6 trading days in a row. We're getting out of that zone. So this is going to be possibly a bullish structure for S&P 500. If we break down, what will happen? If we break down below, let me zoom in. If we break down below 767, then we will get back to the same exact choppy zone that we've been trading the last 2-3 days. And we basically have a lot of demand zones, like right here and a little bit below this zone around 762. So there are lots of demand layers for going short on SPY. And given the fact that we had a lot of positive catalysts for the market, I'm not really that confident going short unless the selling pressure is strong enough and the price action confirms a strong selling pressure by the ask. Let's take a look at Qs. So QQQ also pushed higher, finally broke out of 921 EMA range, right? After, again, 5, 6, 7 trading days in a row, we finally broke out of that zone. And in the pre-market so far, we're seeing a retest of the same area that we've been stuck in for a while, 716, 717, right? This is the same zone we rejected. We couldn't break out of that zone. It happened in the pre-market, retested in the it broke out of this zone in the after hour, retested in the pre-market, and now we're holding around 717-ish area. So 716, 17 would be the main demand zone and support area on watch on Qs. The pre-market high 720 all the way up till this 722 would be the next major resistance zone on Qs. If we control this zone and push higher, we could go for 725 clearly. But if we break down below 716, 717, well, the next demand zone would be 713, 14-ish area, which would be, again, a retest of the 9 and 21 EMA and the daily chart. We'll see how that works, but we clearly know the next demand and next resistance zones below and above the price action that we're trading. SMH. Gap top with NVDA earning. This is something that I explained yesterday, right? We were looking pretty weak, but since NVDA earning can basically change the sentiment, we're seeing a gap on SMH as well. So even though we were relatively weak and we were forming lower low, lower highs on SMH, now post NVDA earning, we are seeing the price broke out of 566 zone and held above 566, 568 area, the same area we rejected multiple times, now is acting as support so far in the pre-market, right? So we are holding above 9 and 21 EMA on the daily chart as well. If we keep holding this zone, we could potentially see SMH pushing higher, and the target would be around 580, 83 on SMH. If we, for any reason, break down below this zone, we will clearly get back to the same previous structure, and the price can fall down till 555 on SMH. Looking at a couple of individual tickers, there's nothing to talk about on Apple. Tesla was weak yesterday and bounced above this demand zone, and yeah, this was an interesting trade. We caught a reversal trade yesterday on Tesla, but it didn't keep moving higher, and now we are just seeing Tesla consolidating right where it is, trading right above the 9 and 21 EMA, and it is holding above that zone. And for now, we're seeing a higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low on Tesla. So if this level keeps holding, we might see a bounce above this level for a target of 360.65. But if we break down below this zone, this can be a massive sell-off on Tesla. We'll see the main thing we want to do is waiting for the price to react to 340.42 or bounce above this level and react to 352 zones and see how the price holds or breaks either of these areas. Already explained NVDA's price action. There's nothing to talk about. Google, AMD slightly pushed higher, didn't really move that much post NVIDIA's earning, right? You're seeing we are technically holding right where we were trading yesterday, so we're still in this exact range again. Not a fan of trading in a range. If we get above 490, we could go for 507.8, 510, but I think the main trade would be a breakout and hold above this zone, ideally above 520, or break down below 455 on AMD. Not that interesting. Intel, relatively weak, and post earning didn't really move that much. Post NVIDIA's earning didn't really move that much as well. We're still rejecting 90 zones. So if there is any weakness in the whole market, I think Intel would be an interesting setup to trade. It's basically retesting 89, 90 zone and almost around moving averages and getting ready for a possible rejection that could be interesting. If we break out of this zone, we could go for 92 and then 95 as the next targets on Intel. Meta, what a wild price action yesterday, and it is trading inside yesterday's range. Considering the fact that we had a lot of volatility yesterday, I'm expecting some sort of choppy sideways move, and the main areas on watch would be right around 560.62 or above 598.600 zone. And not a fan of trading it in this in the middle of this range, considering the fact that we had massive weeks on the hourly charts. So yeah, it was a pretty interesting price action yesterday. So definitely on watch for to see if it can reject 578 ish areas. If it keeps rejecting and push lower, right below this 560.62 could be a good setup to focus on. MU slightly push higher, but it is still holding in the same exact range. So yeah, still I am interested in MU above 1000 or below this 890 area. Microsoft, beautiful hold. It's just consolidating, but it is a strong consolidation. The price is pushing higher. We don't see a lot of volume on this on these kind of moves. We're seeing a slow move toward 500 zone on Microsoft. Still, the reaction of the price to 500 zone would be key and very important for Microsoft. So still, we'll watch 500 and 477 as the main zones. Amazon still consolidating here 257 and 266, 267 on watch. PLTR, I want it out of this range. So let's see if it can get out of get above 180, break out of that zone or not. It's clearly holding this demand zone really well and strongly. So SNDK would be another name that could react to NVDA's earning. If you're interested, it just bounced above this level. The market just got open, and Yeah, the next names would be CRM and CRWD. Okay, so these would be the main names on watch for the day. Let me know what you guys are watching in the comments. All right, so I will be going ahead and trade live with the team. Make sure you join us. Check out the link in the description, and you can join us and trade live with me every single day. We caught Tesla, we caught SPY, Qs, NVDA multiple days in a row, and there are lots of opportunities in the market. If you want to join us, make sure you check out the link in the description and join us and trade live with us. See you in the next one.